where sailors sleep. There I find the songs that I sing in the deep, where soon you'll sleep from your bones comes my next melody. Deep in the dark, how sweet corpses sing. Oh, how they wail, and oh, how they weep. And me as a maestro, onward I lead, leading my great symphony.
I've always hated going to the basement while it's dark. I like to watch them cry in the light. I've always wanted to go camping, so you can imagine my excitement when the news announced a camp would be made right here in DeKalb. Never break someone's heart. They only have one. Break their bones instead. They have 206 of them. I dropped my buttered bread on the floor, on the buttered side. See, there's no monster under the bed, she said as she came up from the floor. Yes, Mommy, I said, pretending not to notice that her eyes were blue instead of brown. Mommy, I hate Cindy's guts, I exclaimed. You hush now, she scolded, and eat what I feed you. I held my son's hand as I went through the haunted house. I would have felt more comfortable if it was with the rest of his body. It's always a challenge getting my pet into her crate for the night. She always tries to escape or says things like, "Please, sir, I miss my mommy." I used to be a bus driver. I'm not anymore. Every time I drive over the railroad tracks, they tell me it's all my fault. All 30 of them. As I read my client's tarot cards, I saw the death of his entire family in his future. I looked up at my client and noticed a sinister smile growing on his face. I saw the escaped serial killer from the news outside my window, smiling at me. Luckily, it was just my reflection. I invited a clown to my son's birthday, and on this special day, I could see all of the kids were having fun. My skin crawled when I got a call from the clown company saying that they're sorry for him being late. I saw Santa on Christmas Eve night as a young child. I was confused as to why the back window was broken and he was taking the presents. I've just read a very meticulously described murder story on the internet forum, and now I can't sleep. Someone had watched me do that. I was 13 when my mom let me stay home alone. I was 14 when I realized that I wasn't. That was the best horror movie I have ever seen. I sigh in relief. She has not found the cameras yet. Last night, my brother beat me a clue in the kitchen. After that, I beat him 10 times with a wrench. As the two of us rode along the highway, the rough-looking hitchhiker sitting in the passenger seat of my vehicle asked, "Aren't you afraid that I'm some psychotic murderer?" "No." "What are the odds that you would be too?" My ex-wife still misses me. Her aim is getting better. After watching Jurassic Park, I wanted to look for dinosaur bones in my backyard. I started digging, but then I found out where my mom went. I heard my new wife scream as she went through some boxes in my attic. Damn, I thought. Looks like she found my ex. "It's all right," I said to the man who was crying. "It will be like throwing a swing." Then, I kicked the chairs out from underneath his children's feet. As she pushed the hair out of my face, she said, "You have the prettiest eyes. I'll look at them every day after Mama lets me keep them." My sister is so annoying. All she does is yell at me. I thought padding the basement would help cancel the noise. I like taking photos of where I've been. It makes finding the bodies a lot easier. I was destroyed when I walked into my wife's bedroom and she was asleep with another man. I didn't say a word and left the house. The next day, I returned to my house, noticing the locks on the doors were broken. A little boy has been awoken from a noise coming from his backyard. "I should have buried them deeper," the kid said. "Daddy, there's a monster under my bed," my child said. I don't know what was worse, the fact that there's a monster under my wife's bed, or that there was a child in it. People always say laughter is the best medicine. I wish the doctors didn't take that so literally when treating my dying son. Sitting down to breakfast, Wilbur stared at his mother and father sitting across from him at the kitchen table. They were smiling at him and at each other, and Wilbur felt his heart sink, as he knew he would only have to remind them that he was dead and to stop having the fortune teller resurrect him all the time. As I was swimming underwater for a long period of time, I knew this was all just a dream. But when I saw the wrecked plane that I was in, I knew it wasn't a dream. Yesterday, I found footprints in the snow leading from the edge of the woods to the side of my house. They do not lead back. The policeman studied the lost child picture that was flashing on the TV and saw the video of the distraught mother pleading for the return of her little boy. After he went home, and then he went to the basement to make sure the boy was still there. The monster searched the building as if it were looking for specific people. They said the infected can retain memory, but I didn't think he'd remember his wife's killer, the judge who let him go free, or me for not answering her screams. Oh, how I wish she were mine, I used to tell myself. Now, she has no choice. I may be ugly, but women talk to me. The last woman said, "No, please, I have a family. Please, no." During my time in the military 15 years ago, I had gone blind and deaf from a bombing, but I was lucky enough to have my loving wife by my side. This all changed when a police officer gave me a sheet of braille that read, "May we question you about your wife's 15-year disappearance?" As an author, I listen in on conversations from the people around me while I write. It just makes the fake suicide notes seem all the more realistic, don't you think? "Mommy, there's a monster in my closet," the little girl said. The fact that I don't have any children was disturbing enough, but what made it worse was that the voice came from my closet. Spend 24 hours locked in the old insane asylum and win $1 million. It's been 26 hours, so why is the door still locked? My daughter was always afraid that at night she could almost feel someone watching her. Maybe I should learn to be more stealthy. My father and I were watching the news when I read the headline, 10-year anniversary of search for a missing boy. He quickly changed the channel when a sketch looking just like me appeared on screen. My best friend's son is now at the stage where he toodles over to everyone in the room and offers them his sippy cup. It is the most darling and adorable thing ever, until he starts offering it to the empty used recliner his wife bought from Goodwill. After eating the bread and drinking the wine, the dining party left the room they were in. Hours later, the men could only watch helplessly as their leader was captured, put on trial, and then executed. It was 3 days before they would see him again. I always thought that I would be prepared for the zombie apocalypse. As I sit here, staring into my father's lifeless eyes, I have come to the disturbing realization that I enjoy the taste of human flesh. I saw a missing poster of a 32-year-old man out in the middle of my street today. Doesn't it feel nice when they predict it was one of your previous victims still screaming for help in your basement? The old family mansion had over 100 rooms, and there were only 5 of us. After playing hide and seek, there are now 6 of us. I'm looking for a psychologist who can determine what issues imaginary friends can stem from, because I overheard my daughter asking hers, "And where did Daddy put your body?" I screamed for help as I sat in the forest clearing, happy when I heard footsteps running towards me. Human screams always were the best lures. They always say, it's not what's on the outside that matters, it's what's on the inside. Trust me, her insides were beautiful.